Hi everybody, and welcome to the Completing Your Pre-Registration Checklist instructional video. We hope that this video helps you understand the steps you need to take to complete your pre-registration checklist. This will really help make your registration process much smoother and much easier. To start, log on to your WYO Records student portal. Some people call this your WYO Web. You can access it from UW's WYO Web page, and as you can see there under the WYO Records column, click on Students. If you haven't done this before, click on Obtain Your Username and Initial Password up here in the upper right. Once it takes you to this screen, use your username and password to log. And that'll bring you to your welcome screen where it'll say your name on top, your program of study. Here, click on the button that says registration. That'll bring us to the registration landing page where we have a few options. We want to click on Prepare for Registration up here in the upper left. You can browse classes if you're curious and want to look at classes before you register. You can click here and browse the course catalog. Once we click on Prepare for Registration, it brings us to this registration status screen. This screen shows us a few things, but most importantly, we want to look at the checklist. Anything that has a yellow triangle needs to be taken care of. Anything that has a green check mark is good to go. So there's 4 things every student has to do before they register. Every term, this has to be done every semester before you register. And so the first one is the health insurance coverage option. Click on this link, and then the next one will be the UW Alert cell phone. After that, we'll talk about the addresses and phone numbers and emergency contacts. And then lastly, we'll discuss student financial responsibility agreement. And so when we click on the health insurance coverage link, it takes us to this page where it outlines health insurance coverage for students. You have the option to purchase medical insurance from the university as a student. If you have your own private insurance, it would be smart to not purchase additional insurance. But if you don't have insurance, this is a pretty good option. So you can select yes or no. And if you select no, it brings up a follow-up question of do you have other health insurance? And so if you select I don't want any health insurance from UW because I have my private, you select yes here. And then it brings us to this page, and you have until the drop add deadline, so this upcoming semester it's September 11th, to change your selection. From this page, we can redirect to the registration status using this little link in the lower left. Once completed, you'll see a little green check mark show up on the line for your health insurance coverage selection. Next, we'll talk about the UW Alert cell phone. So click on that link and it'll take us to this page. The UW Alert cell phone program is an emergency response program on campus where if there's an emergency, you'll receive a text message regarding instructions or what's going on with that emergency. In the past, we've received text messages for campus closures due to weather, things of that nature. So punch in your cell phone number here. And then we also recommend to check this box for the wait list. This way you'll receive a text message if seats open up in a course that you've registered for the wait list. So click on submit once you have all the appropriate information, and you'll see a green check mark show up on top of this page. Once that's there, you've done what you need to do here, and you can click on the registration status link there to redirect you. And you'll see a green check mark show up on that line. And so we're just working our way through the list. So we'll click on addresses and phone numbers next. And so you'll bring up, you can have various addresses on file with the university, a mailing address, a billing address, a permanent address. You may have some addresses previously show up here that are here from your admissions application. Check and make sure that it's all current. If anything needs to be adjusted, you can click on the link next to the address and edit it. At the bottom of this page, if you need to add one, you can use the drop-down menu and then hit submit, and it'll allow you to edit that address. Once everything looks good, click I verify that these addresses and phone numbers are correct. It will direct us to the emergency contacts page. And again, if anything needs to be edited, you can click on the link next to the contact or if you need to create a new contact, you can click on New Contact. Once everything looks good, click on I verify that this is correct, and it will redirect us to the email page. Make sure the email addresses here are appropriate. Your UW email address will activate once you're registered for classes. Say I verify that these are correct, and it automatically redirects you to the registration status page. Lastly, we're going to look at the Student Financial Responsibility Agreement. So click on that line, and it'll take us to the agreement page. This outlines the financial responsibility for students. For registering for classes, you're responsible for paying tuition and fee charges associated with your enrollment. Be sure to read through this. Be sure to understand everything on this page. This is important stuff. Once you click agree to that, right here, you'll see that that goes green and everything is ready to go. Once this whole page, the checklist has green check marks, you're prepared to register for classes. You'll still need to meet with an advisor and receive your PERC number, but this will really facilitate registering for classes. Thanks for your attention, and I hope that you found this helpful.